Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope that all of you are having an amazing day. Welcome back to seeing things from a Muslimist perspective. Today we're going to be focusing on improving ourselves for the better, and this is just making ourselves better than we were the day before or even the week before. And everyone is on the journey towards their goals, no matter what they are. I think that everyone should have one main goal though. Every Muslim and everyone that believes in God, regardless of faith. One of our top goals, and this should be in bold, highlighted in everything, should be getting closer to Allah. And this is because that if you remember Allah, Allah will remember you. And if you have faith in Allah, your life will begin to improve. And I'm speaking from personal experiences myself. Faith is a key pillar towards going to self-improvement. Without faith, you lose that motivation that kept you moving forwards. But there's one thing that we have to keep in check. What are we being faithful to? What do we have faith in? The system, the people around us? We need to make sure that no matter who, when, where, or why, the first person we trust is Allah. Why? Because Allah dictates everything and Allah determines our faith. Allah will be the one to even let us see tomorrow, let alone be an improved version of ourselves. If we make dua to be better, Allah will provide the guidance for us to do better. It's as simple as that. So, having faith in Allah is more than just a declaration. Remembrance of Allah also plays a role, and the key to the remembrance of Allah is Salah. Just think about it. We are blessed to be able to pray 5 times a day, every day. Each day, we remove ourselves from the bustling reality of our lives to sit down and put our heads on the ground for the one and only God. Remembering Allah is a powerful tool that will not only give you reward in this life, but also success in the next. Salah is compulsory amongst all of us Muslims, and all of us should strive to do our very best to ensure that we can pray every day on time. The beauty in Salah is being able to make dua and to thank Allah for everything. Allah's guidance is the best of all guidance, just as Allah's plans are the best for all of us. So, on top of having faith in ourselves and the confidence that we all have and that we can achieve what we want, we should highlight the fact that Allah is all-knowing and that His plan may be different to what we expect. Our life may shift towards a different course, but remember to make dua to Allah for what you want, because at the end of the day, it is only Allah who can change your destiny. This makes a way towards the general point that I wanted to make. Getting closer to Allah is the best form of self-improvement. Do that and it will be easier to do anything else. Avoiding things that are haram is also the best way to becoming a better person. Don't curse, don't lie, and try to project a kindly nature towards everyone you meet. Have sabr in situations where you could have been angry. Instead of listening to music, listen to the Quran. Gradually push out the bad habits that you have. Not all at once, but at a pace at which you can remove them for good. It is undoubtedly better to walk in smaller steps than to run across a rickety bridge. You're less likely to slip and more likely to reach your goals. Many people don't actually realize, or maybe they just don't acknowledge, that what they are doing is in fact haram. The most important things is to realize that something is actually an issue, because it is only when you find out that something is bad when you will care to let it go. Let me give you an analogy. If you can't see, for example, and you're walking towards a fire, you may not see it, but you can smell the smoke. Then, hopefully, you should realize that and turn to walk away to stop yourself from burning yourself. Your bad habits are the flames. All you need to do is just smell the smoke. Now, this doesn't mean that you go and do haram until you perceive the negative effects of doing so. No. It means that you use your common sense. Seek knowledge from scholars and learn more about the deen. Identify what is halal and what is haram. And know your morals. If you curse, it doesn't take a genius to know that it's bad. I mean, that's literally why everyone's parents dissuade their children from uttering such words and frown upon them. The same thing applies with gossiping about someone else. You know it's bad. If you're talking about somebody else and you know for a fact that if they were here, they wouldn't appreciate you spreading lies about them, then why are you doing it? As people, we have to try to make the world better, not follow along with the crowd. The next thing related to what I just said is this thing that people tend to do to try to fit in. I see it everywhere, from TikTok to in real life. If somebody hates someone else and they're popular at the school or workplace or whatever, it's so common for some odd reason for so many people to just hate them without question too. And the worst part is they also go out of their way to disrespect them without even knowing if they're truly as bad as what they were told. One thing I don't get and just absolutely detest is when everyone just births this sheep mentality and comply to the impressions mandated on certain people. Just because one person doesn't like another doesn't mean you have to do the same, especially if it's not for a good reason. And even then, why would you hate easily? Assuming things about somebody else to paint a bad picture does not make you any better. You should always see the good in people and try to implement that into your own personality too. At the center of self-improvement lies self-acceptance. You need to be aware of what you have to work on and what you are already good at. Work to help others with the things that you already have set out and confide in them for tips on how you can improve. Everyone is beautiful and different, and there are so many ways to organize your habits and so many methods you can use to sort them into your day-to-day life. Another thing that I have to say this, is cut out the negative people. Like I said before, if the people around you gossip 24/7 and try to make other people look bad and feel horrible about themselves, they are not the right people to be friends with. If you are in a work environment where you are not cared about, communicate this, and if changes are not made, then leave. But the main thing is, you've got to be a critic of yourself too. Society has sadly flown into this victim mindset where people are so eager to blame others rather than sit down and accept what they had done was flawed. Nobody is perfect, of course, and things do get hard sometimes, but arrogance will never be okay, especially when you fail to realize how much you can destroy other people's self-esteem because of it. Look up to the right people. These should be people that you know who are on the deen, who know about Islam, who want to learn more about Islam and want to become better people. You should seek guidance on how they progressed and work to do the same. These can be scholars, family members, friends. Work with them to remember Islam and its teachings. There is no good just being Muslim by name, you know. You've also got to revive the sunnah and act like a Muslim and do halal and fast and pray salah and give zakat. But your character and the way you also walk about this earth will also be judged. You become the product of your surroundings, so you shouldn't waste your life on people who are going to take you towards the opposite outcome of what you wanted. One productive mind plus another productive mind can formulate many things. Surround yourself with people who also want to improve and motivate each other to get there. Make each second of your life worthwhile. Make the world a better place and make yourself a better person than you were yesterday. So you're listening to this and you want to make yourself better now. You want to act now, but in terms of actually going about it, you don't really know what to do. I'm going to tell you the most generic piece of advice in the world, and that is to make a checklist, a timetable if it works better. Separate your day into sections, and even if you spend 1 minute and make one minor improvement to your life, an improvement will always be an improvement. A step forward can never be a step back. A positive can never be a negative. In the same way, you also need to walk hand in hand with consistency. There is not much benefit if you do tons one day and then don't do anything at all for a month. You should start small and gradually build it up until you have reached your goals. Your mindset is also vital. You need to believe that you can improve. You need to have faith in Allah, in that you can change and that you can stop the bad things and that you will improve. You will stop the bad and do more of the good. And this is why belief and the preservation of your fitrah is so vital. You don't have to engineer any false sense of belief because you already believe in Allah. You already rely on Allah. And whatever Allah wills will happen. There is no doubting that whatsoever. And this makes Islam so beautiful. You can never be lost forever because you can call out to Allah. You will never be confused with what's happening and why it didn't work out because you will remember deep down that this is just a part of Allah's plan. You just need to put the effort in and the delivery will follow suit. No matter how messed up the world is or how much anyone has wronged you, revenge will never be the answer. Learn to cry to Allah about your problems and work hard to fix them, no matter how impossible it may seem. Do not underestimate the power of your dua, and because you are directly talking to Allah, and Allah will listen if you keep your faith. If your dua isn't accepted in this life, it will bring you reward in the next. It is ultimately a win-win situation. Another powerful tool is to just sit down and reflect. Reflect on the day, on your actions, and whether you did something you shouldn't have. If you have done something wrong, repent and ask for forgiveness. Strive to do your best to never do it again. Evaluate your company and evaluate your hobbies. Take a look at what you've learnt today or if there's any topic or science that you've become curious about. If you like some food you ate or if your diet needs a change. And reflection is no good on its own. You need to implement. Implement your own critique. Implement and do what you have to do. No excuses. You need to have discipline because the moment that you make it seem as though it's okay to continue with your bad habits, that's the moment that your chances of achieving your goals is going to decrease. And that's no joke. You need to make sure that you have control over your emotions and use your head to make good decisions. Self-improvement requires improvement, or you're going to be left all by yourself with your flaws and no way out of the rabbit hole that you've thrown yourself into. So work hard, do your best, achieve your full potential. Get those grades, get that promotion, make that food, get those gains, eat well, exercise, do what you love. But above all, get closer to the deen, because that is the most crucial of the lot if you want a good hereafter. With that being said, thanks for taking the time to listen, and hopefully we're going to end this podcast wiser than we were before we started. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.